Looks like we printed a 30-minute, an OB on a 30-minute
All right.
from 163, 165.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hello Crypto, episode 10, presented by 60s Trading. Master the markets with precision, learn, execute, and profit. I'm 60, and joining me today is my co-host, Jay Blaine from the Alpha Angle. Today, we're breaking down Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP's key levels, what we're watching, and the plan. So let's kind of get into that stuff here. But before we do jump in, just a quick shout out to the Alpha Angle. Embrace crypto culture for all your crypto apparel needs. TheAlphaAngle.com. So go check them out and support the brand. How you doing this morning, Jay?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
Doing fantastic. In here looking at the trades, we did take and pop in on what we'd called out the other day, where we were saying we're going to push down into this lower order block, the $1.67 down to the $1.48 area, have a reversal and pull back up. And I already took, one trade, I think you did as well, where, got in around that $1.50, I think it was $1.52 I got in at, wrote it up and took a 42% profit on it. And now we're looking to see if we can find another entry to ride again. But let's jump into here a little bit. So what we've got is, here we see our visual is pulled all the way down below our line. We're waiting for another green dot entry. But as I was talking with Jay, is, when I take and I zoom out on the weekly, I'm looking at it and I'm going, we're going to take and close out this weekly candle today, tonight actually. So then this one will be closed out. We'll have a new weekly candle. We're trying to see, are we going to be teetering along to where we're going to see another push back to the upside, or are we going to pull down? With the weekly visual, it looks like we need to see more downside. What kind of a downside could we see? We could break past our actual order block on the new weekly candle, possibly breaking down below the 1010 candle. That would put us down below $1.26. The only order block I kind of got marked out on a daily right now for it below that would be that $1.15 to $1.05. Nobody likes the messenger when they say lower prices. We always want to see the moon. I know that, but that is the options that we do have right here and stuff. Is if we break that, that's the only order block I'm really seeing below it, because all of our data is saying everything is up above. But now, according to just the visual chart here, it's showing that there is still some more at play. It can come down, but I'm very hopeful that we're going to see a little bit more uptrend. Hopefully, after we end this weekly candle, see it go up throughout the week for a little bit, and it may trace back down again, kind of like our dailies does here. We open up the new one, it'll trace up some, but then you wind up with down. That's what I'm looking at. We're possibly going to see for the weekly chart here on XRP as well. So right now it's kind of sideways until we kind of break through this candle tonight and then see what we're going to get. What you got on the order books over there, Jay?
Well, first I do want to remind everyone that the order book it's a contextual tool. It's not an entry trigger. It shows pressure, intent. It's not guaranteed direction. We only use the order book to confirm or deny what the Alpha Pulse system is telling us. And if they don't agree, we wait. So just to let anybody who doesn't know how the order book should be used, I just wanted to reiterate that. And so moving on to XRP, in comparison to this morning, the order book, it looks like we're a bit more assertive. Buyers are starting to step in with some stronger intent. The hesitation we saw before it's kind of fading away. It's not explosive, but the market tone is leaning. I think you were right, and it's going to be pushing us toward the upside after maybe a little down. But liquidity, it's that's probably the big shift here. The ask side liquidity, or the sellers, looks lighter than it did earlier. Sell walls are thinner, slightly higher on the bid or buyer side. they've kind of stepped a little closer to the price and are stacking size with less hesitation. So the book feels like it's preparing for a lift, but maybe not an immediate one. Um, yeah, it looks like volatility still relatively tight. Uh, Price action starting to stretch into some of that overhead liquidity, not bounce, but just between support and resistance. So compression is turning kind of into expansion. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at on that. XRP looks like it's trying to break, this stall. Buyers are lifting, sellers are thinning. Structure has improved since this morning, and could be the start of a grind higher if this same pressure continues. So yeah, that's it, buddy. That's it.
Awesome, awesome. I mean, it's hard to because right now I know we're kind of sitting in that little bit of the sideways feel, so it's hard to get an exact which way we're going at the moment because we're in that big order block and there's a lot of a fight between that support and that resistance that we're trying to figure out which one is going to win the battle. But looking out at that, like I said, at the weekly there, we're starting to look and see we still need to come down more, as much as I hate to say that, because you and me both were ready for the ride up, so we can take some profits and all that. But either way it goes, we're still making profits. I'll put that out there.
Yeah. At least the book is confirming what the Alpha Pulse system's showing.
Yeah. So on the other notes, we do have, I believe, what's up next? Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Take your pick.
Well, I guess we'll go with the big dog, the one that everybody seems to want. I see a lot of different little memes on that throughout the day today. Looking on the Twitter and all that stuff, or they call it X now and stuff. Well, what they call it different and stuff. So it's kind of makes you wonder. But looking at Bitcoin on the weekly, it's showing pretty much the same thing as far as the drop. And if you notice what we told on the last one is that we had this order block and then another one here, and I was sitting there looking at we were probably going to break through both of those with the possibilities of that 70,000 to 67,000. If you didn't watch the last episode, go back, watch it, and you'll see that what I said, breaking through this order block was more than likely what was going to happen. Was going to break both of those and be looking towards that lower order block. So we do have that, and they're showing it on the weekly that it's broke through both of those. That means we can go ahead and eliminate this one. And it also means that we can eliminate this order block as well, because they're no longer any good. Now, let's just go ahead and let's run through the time frames here and stuff. So on the time frames on the 1 minute, we still got to come back up and we got to hit our pink line. So 78,000 is something that I would see us going up to hit. We're kind of halfway on our visual here. We're still in the green uptrend. We haven't had a breakdown below that lower spot, which kind of like I told Jay earlier on the XRP, was with the drop that we had, I thought we had a little bit of a reversal. We was going to start seeing uptrend and stuff because we created that lower low. So personally, I'm in a trade that my stop loss is just below that lower low there. But I'm looking for us to come up and hit that 1 minute pink line, possibly pull back down. We may get lucky enough to see the 5 minute pink line and stuff and start riding our way back up to one of the upper order blocks that we have actually marked out. So if I mark it all the way out here and stuff and I look, we can see this is on a daily. So technically this daily right here, it needs to be gone away. Get rid of that. And then this one right here also is no good. So only order blocks right there. Let's go ahead and mark these out because I didn't even look at this. That's a great thing about doing these, just coming in and pulling the chart up and then going live here and stuff, or recording, whichever. You're seeing me read over the chart and just call it as I see it, not prepping it and researching it and everything else and then going over it. But so we do have an order block here because we got an A, B, and C candle. But yeah, we have this order block right here that we got to get marked out for us. So let's go ahead and get favorites here and grab that right there. So A candle here, B candle, C candle, you got D candle, and it goes on down. Typically you look at A, B, and C. C didn't come back to fill the gap between A and C, so that's your original candle creating an order block. And always remember, on an order block is...
Now the next rule is that order blocks are a one-time use.
One-time use, as our friend he likes to say. I appreciate that guy's content. He had some really good stuff. I've learned some of the things from him as well, but putting it all together, this is how we do it. So the top of that order block is going to be at the 84,267. Okay. And then the bottom of that one's going to be that 83,816. And I'm not the fastest at typing and thinking at the same time, so don't shoot the messenger. All right, so we're going to go ahead and mark this out because we're looking at the 4-hour time frame for this order block. So this is going to be something we may see it pop up and hit because it's one of the ones we see. There is one that's been created on down lower. You can probably see the last 3 candles. There is a fair value gap down there as well, so we may mark that out as well. That might be something we pull up to it and hit that one first to push on down more. So let's get these marked out and we'll be able to give out a good call here. If you want to talk about the order book, what you got while I do this, you're welcome to head on over to it.
Sure. Okay. Oh, I got the right one up. If you want to switch.
Yep, I got you.
Awesome. Thank you. So, let's see where we're at in here. It looks like, well, in comparison to this morning, it looks like it's feeling a little bit heavier now. The sellers are definitely holding the control. Ask walls have thickened. Actually, but just it looks like that 78,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 78,000 is where we're at. That's kind of where the wall's at. If we can get past it, okay. It doesn't look like we've got enough buyers in the bin right now. So there is support, but it's just lower and thinner. Buyers aren't stepping up nearly like they were this morning. Oh, the zone Bitcoin previously bounced. It's not fully gone, but it's slipping away. Oh, we've got a structure. It's trying to flip 60, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to have it. And I think we're going to see Bitcoin going back down here as well. So, our ask walls are about 78,002 to 78,004. And then our buyers are running in at 78 down to 77,998. So it does show a stronger hold for the sellers. Yeah, buddy, I think we're going back down.
Oh yeah. So get back over to here. I went ahead and marked that other one out too while I was here. And we still have another one up here on the 4-hour I got to mark out as well. But so to get that one, 84,267 down to the 83,816, that is marked out on the 4-hour time frame. There's smaller order block. We have this bigger one here. So this is where I'm thinking that, we got like 2.5 hours or something like that left on the 4-hour candle. We could create another candle and see that and pull back up along the way and possibly tap this. I think when we do tap into it, we may push up to at least the green line, which currently is at 78,965. Pushing up to that and then another drop. Or this could be the sideways part that we see actually reverse and pull up higher. So it's it's one of those we're having to watch. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this last order block here real quick before we continue to break it down time by time frame. All right, so grab this, move it over here. On it. I don't know why I clicked on it. All right, so, and if you don't know what I'm doing, when I take and pull this up here and I put my cursor over the actual candle up towards the top there, it'll actually give me the opening, the high, the low, close, and all that. So I'm able to take and highlight there and then be able to figure out what the high of that candle is, and then go down and what the low of it is, so I can be able to set my order block to be correct with the actual chart. So now it'll mark it out perfect there for that, and then I can take and come back, drop over in the text area, and then just type in, so I'll know just by glancing without having to hover over it what the actual prices are and on what time frame it's been put on, so that way I can go back and check it. Somebody asks, I don't see that. Well, are you looking at this time frame? And then when they look at it, they're like, oh, yep, I see it right there. And then it's done. So that's the way I like to do them. And of course, also make sure once you set them, click on them again and hit that little lock feature, so that way nobody accidentally clicks it and drags it when you're moving your chart, because I have done that multiple times and that can mess you up. So 4 hour time frames, we got those 3 order blocks there. We'll move down to the 2 hour, take a look here. Looking the same. We still have, it's still looking like we got some more downside arc on all of this stuff. Yep, 30 minutes still showing some more downside. All of our pink lines though and everything's up above, so we know we're getting ready for that reversal, and that's where I'm looking at possibly tonight after we get that new weekly candle, the new daily candle, which creates the new weekly candle, seeing a nice little pull up, and then possibly by the end of the week we may push back down again to fill on all these on the weekly. But as we can see out here, we've already started an uptrend reversal since earlier, and it seems to be holding a nice trend line there. So yeah, 78,000 would be something I'll be looking at to see, and that just happens to be right inside of our order block that we have here. So we're going to continue to watch that one grow up, and then we'll try to see, depending on the market movement, we may do another episode, tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. We're going to have to see how it plays out tonight, but that's what I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. Ethereum over here, we go to looking at it on the daily. Dang, would you look at that? That order block I told you we had to drop, at least a 10%. It has nailed it. Exactly like we were saying, hit it. And we've seen, actually, if you'd have gotten in on that, you could have rode that back up there to 24.72. Right? Yeah. So either way, we've got that order box been hit there. We have had some other order blocks that's created along the way. As you can see on the daily, we have this new one here. Go ahead and mark it out. Not very often we do the actual live, so I'm a little slower on the live apparently than I am a recording. But, the more we do this, the better we'll get at it. If you have questions and stuff too, make sure join the Discord and ask the questions. Make sure to ask if you want other cryptos to be reviewed and get, the mark on those, what they're going to do and everything else. to put those in, and we'll be able to look at those as well. But for technical setups, we're trying to do the main three. We may throw some other ones in there some days, but nobody's requesting anything else. We're just gonna keep your main three. So this one right here, this order block setting at 3,043.52, and then the bottom of it being down at 29.85.01. What's the order book looking like over there?
It is, I think it's going to be a little bit of the same, but let's see. We got 2,308 in that area is where we're looking at. Okay, you've got the screen on there. So that's what we're looking at live. A little quieter than the last time we visited this compared to the previous zone here. That kind of looks two-sided, bud. It's a little passive. Buyers aren't pushing really through, but sellers aren't nearly as hard as they were this morning. We are getting a little more pressure on the selling side again. It's not too much. It's not too bearish, but it's not really bullish either. Kind of looking like a slow bleed. We got our ask walls tightening up. That sounded terrible, didn't it?
It happens.
The book shows several, stacked layers above the price, and so, those asks aren't moving though; they're holding pretty tight.
Hey, man, when they drop down like that, sometimes it does tighten. I ain't gonna lie. No, we don't want none of that.
Even through the little burst there, we're not seeing a ton of price action. So it's getting absorbed quickly. There's no real sign of buyers coming in, so I think we'll have a little bit of downside again before we run up. So it's neutral to slightly bearish. Buyers are fading, sellers have got a little bit of an advantage. So right now, I'd say we'll see that coming down a little bit before we head back to the upside.
All right, that sounds promising. A little bit of an uptrend. So all three of them are showing that we're going to have a little bit of an uptrend, along with a reversal back to the pullback. That does align, and it's like I hate to call it out like that and stuff, but it's the fear index right there. Basically, they're pushing all the fear to get people to sell out. It's going to go back down to bottom dollar, and then they get the right amount of people out, get enough retailers in and stuff, and then boom, you're off to the races, right?
Absolutely.
So what else do we have here? So we got the XRP, we got the Bitcoin, Ethereum. We just marked out some of those order blocks. We got this first one here on the daily, which is the 3,043 down to the 29.85, and then we have the one above that 33.68 down to the 32.80. So those order blocks are at play. As far as downsides, I mean, technically on the daily, there is another order block on down below if we was to break that one, but I'm not looking for us to break that today for this week. Could it happen for next week? Absolutely, because we do have a couple here. Let's just go ahead and try to zoom in and take a look at these here, and we'll mark them out. I mean, these are kind of smaller, so I'm not looking to see these, even hold much, but we'll mark it just to be on the safe side, right? So we're looking at what, 1849. Who would have thought, Ethereum was going to be dropping back like that after it just having that beautiful run while Bitcoin was just kind of sitting there. And you got down to 1787. And then we'll put that's on the daily. So call it 1849. and 1787.
Had 5 straight days of pullbacks here with the Ethereum.
Yeah, and it's what. So the way I've been seeing it too is like when Ethereum finally hits the order block that it needs to hit here, that's where Bitcoin and them will finally have their kind of bottom area, and they'll start to reverse and go back up for something else before they'll wind up want to come down some more or something. But if we do go down to that 70,000, 67,000 for Bitcoin, I'm looking for a decoupling moment. Don't hold me to it. I'm not, the professional on the decoupling moment. I've been trying to watch the Bitcoin dominance and, what it did over previous, times when the dominance would break and stuff. What kind of catalyst it was that would create stuff like that, and dropping through like a big, support wall right here down into that could be something that would be a catalyst for that, freak out. Everybody starts seeing the altcoins starting to take an alt run, and we're due for an alt run. But Ethereum, if you'll notice on it for the daily, we are actually about to cross into the green area for the daily. We've already got Bitcoin, and XRP is already there. So that tells you that you're going to see a little bit more drop on the Ethereum as well for it to create the green dot there. And then when you look at the weekly, it's down. I don't know if we're going to see that one drop enough to get another green entry at this moment. I believe that what we're doing right now is just setting up for this next leg up for Ethereum, because if you're looking at that, that's like almost a perfect setup for a continuation of a upwards trend wave on the weekly. That's, what is that? Where's it at? Fib channel. Oh, not what I want. What was it I was looking for? Oh, there we go. If I can get it. Oh. We're staying within it. So, with that, it shows that we could see a little bit more of a drop down, but it's still within the range for an uptrend there. Let's go back over here to the daily. Finish marking out that last order block right in here. Right there. Great news is next time we do an update, we'll have all these order blocks that's already there, so it won't take as long to get all that stuff, talked over and see what we got going on, guys. Man, 1658. I don't know. I won't rule it out, but that is pretty low.
$16.
So how is the merchandise and stuff going? You want to tell us a little bit about it?
I've actually got a few new items coming in, and I'm pulling a few items off. So if you hop on there, you'll see that the XDC, I've got new logos and things to get on some of that. Some of that merch, but everything's, it's a little slower than it was. It always is. At the end of the year, it gets really amped up, and then so you feel a bit of a lull whenever whenever the new year starts and everybody kind of tries to let their accounts recover. But still, I'm on par for to beat last year for this month, so that's a good thing. And I think that the more that people are, you see that shirt right there on the front in the middle there, that's the old XDC, the Zenfin. So I got to pull some of that and get more things over to their new logo there.
I'm liking that, that XDC one too. I love some XDC.
Yeah, yeah. It's been good for us. Now, I mean, it's half of what it was, a year ago or whatever, but everything is so down. We can't really look at that as any kind of indice.
Right. There's definitely some great shirts and stuff. Like I said on the last one stuff, the quality of it is amazing. I think, is it in here, the shirt that I got?
Yeah, yeah. If you go to XR, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go to XRP. It'll be in the XRP group. If you go back up, there you go. And yeah, search by there. You can go men's, or you can search by coin. There it is. It's the very top left one. It's just red on there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got that one with of course it was it's the long sleeve and stuff in blue. There it is. That thing, you cannot feel that logo. It is super smooth. It's super comfortable. It's hard to find shirts that kind of quality. I ain't gonna lie. That's probably one of the best ones I've ever ordered. Because I've had some of the other ones I've ordered before from other places, and after a couple washes, they start to be brittle, rough. I still like the shirt, but it's not as comfortable as this one. It's not, the logos and stuff is not staying on there as good. So the quality of this is definitely by far, the best I've seen.
Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. And as always, everybody, make sure if you haven't already, head over to 60trading.com. You'll be able to find our trade calculator that is sitting over there. Again, another shout out again here to Jay. He did set up this, so I'm always going to give him shout out, some props for this. It's an amazing thing. And like I said, we may look at doing some updates to it and stuff at some point. You can come in here. You can find our socials. You can get any of the tools, find out what kind of tools we have, any kind of stuff here. Like if you want any LE Power, Ledger, or anything right here, these wallets, by all means, you can go get them stuff. If you use any links on here, they are affiliate links, so I will get something out of it. Probably need to check those because I haven't checked any of those links in a while. If you want to send in a message, you can do so here. You can either use send us a message here, or you can send it to the actual email address right here for any kind of inquiries and stuff. You can find out more about me and what all it's about here. And again, all the social. So we'd love to have you in here. Anything else you want to say before we end out here?
No. I think, we don't have a ton of news whenever it's doing a lot of the same, but no, I got out all the information I wanted to. And so, I appreciate you bringing me on here again. And so that's it. Everybody have a great day.
Yeah. And then also, just so everybody knows, just because we don't have as many episodes out, in between those episodes, we're doing little updates and stuff in the Discord. And it's not that much. It's just $21.99 a month. And you're going to have those updates. You can ask questions and everything else in there, and we love to help out. So that's going to wrap up Hello Crypto episode 10. Big shout out again to my co-host Jay Blaine from the Alpha Angle. And remember, embrace the crypto culture at thealphaangle.com. If you got some value out of this episode, hit the like, subscribe, and follow, and drop a comment with what coin you want us to cover next. And if you want the full breakdown, tools, and the community, head on over to 60trading.com. Join the Discord. Again, it's presented by 60s Trading. Learn, execute, and profit. I am 60, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thanks, buddy.